This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, second-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears take on a man back for a 15th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with the Chicago Bears. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now Trubisky to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
When you look at the numbers that Eli Manning posted in 2017, there's plenty of cause for concern. Lowest yards per completion of his career, fewest yards passing since 2008. His numbers continue to drop in terms of touchdowns and rising in terms of interceptions. But he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league, even if you can't tell it by his demeanor. And no, you don't hear about his workout program like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But this is a guy that burns to win and wants to get back on the top of the heap. That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. To throw is Manning. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Coming off a Pro Bowl in 2017 is Landon Collins, who was an All-Pro 2 years ago and got many votes for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. This is a guy that we know is what we call a box safety, almost like an extra linebacker in his ability to tackle and hit. But his coverage ability as a safety has improved since he's been in the league, and his ball hawking is getting better each and every year.
On 2nd down, Trubisky got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield, but the best ones can play the run as well, and that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And as a defender, if you come with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that, but to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
He'll get 3 up to midfield. The numbers for Howard a week ago, 12 carries, 57 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short game.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch
automatic
the football.
first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers, to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. He has a big thank you to say to his defense. He threw the interception, then boom, the defense gets it back.
But the ebb and flow of a game is something else, isn't it? But you made an excellent point. A big thanks is owed to that defense. They went out there on what we call sudden change after a turnover and didn't give up anything. In fact, took the ball away and set them up again. Really nicely done.
So a clean slate and a mulligan. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Back near the goal line. Here's Manning. And this one is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Play action. Manning. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, but treated as such.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down.
First down.
It is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, here's your bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. 7 catches, 74 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Manning now on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing on 1st down is Manning. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 49. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Early down steps will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game. Set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. He's now thrown 4 interceptions, and I hate to mention this, but he's a guy that has twice thrown 5 in his career in a single game.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And the tough part is, playing in this NFL, you don't normally just back off totally from playing football, do you? So potential exists for that 5th one to occur.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Running with Howard, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017, and I think you can't let him run wild here.
Where you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Let's go, let's go.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Trubisky will throw. And his throw is incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and 5.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment, takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. Fourth down.
Let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And our players spotlight now as we turn our attention to Eli Manning. And unfortunately for him, this montage, not highlights, lowlights in this one, partner.
Way too many mistakes, too many errors. Sometimes it's on the guy throwing the ball, sometimes it's on the teammates, but it all comes back to him. It goes on his ledger. So when you're playing this type of a game, you start to look for other ways to get out of it. Do you throw it to shorter passes, some check downs, maybe use your legs a little bit more, don't throw the ball downfield. All those things are looking at.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. On play action. Now Manning. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Third and long for the Giants and Eli following the sack. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Manning now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Manning. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Manning. And Ingram holds it in. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
someone
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Bears on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Trubisky. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, It's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The offense on third down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try to run for it with Howard. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on third and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And he's brought down after a good game. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Aaron Lynch. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Now it's Trubisky. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Trubisky now, just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on 1st. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. Trubisky to throw again. He leaves this one for Howard. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
So after the INT, it's Manning. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Working from the gun, Manning, and he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles and they've changed plays when they see certain sets? A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Connor Barwin in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Drew Brees leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. From there, we head to Hard Rock Stadium to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Josh Allen throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we're out to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they are in a tight one, all tied with the visiting Ravens. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And our players spotlight now as we turn our attention to Eli Manning. And this highlight package, not one that he's going to want to see after this game. The ironic thing, despite all these picks, they're winning.
It is beyond interesting, isn't it? Because normally when you're winning, he's playing really well. And in this case, that's not happening at all. So he has to now pick things up a little bit because his team has taken great care of him in this ball game.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
To throw, it's Manning. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
You know, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Regular.
Snap comes at 1. Manning. His throw incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Danny Trevathan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now Manning. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Third and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Manning now to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but Coach, I started Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right?
False start.
The last
Offense.
part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Trubisky with a give to Howard. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the 2nd half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
Now Trubisky to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 29. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A first down carry for Barkley. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. To throw is Manning. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for them, they did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he is down deep into Giant territory. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one, 68 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Incomplete. Eli Apple, good to the core there as he gets in and knocks it away.
Eli Apple was a top 10 pick in the 2016 draft, and one of the reasons, his ability to get better, because remember, he's a young guy, and they just figured he could go ahead and grow. A redshirt sophomore when he came out. He's growing at a pretty good rate. How about that play right there?
Very nice pass deflection. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun is Trubisky. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Parkey's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. And now out come the Giants. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe
a big seam, and he might go all the way. All the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-8. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 78 yards. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey adds the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post Because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Manning to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Manning now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Zebra.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning over the middle to Beckham. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
On 1st down, Trubisky. That is incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. Trubisky. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Trubisky will throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's brought down after a good gain. That one 28 yards on the ground. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. There he goes inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now Stewart on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little game. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And they're going to try for the 4th down conversion. Manning and the offense staying put. They'll go for it. It's Manning. It's caught. Shepard. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Throwing now is Manning. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes this a 9-point game. Rosas now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's what really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Now a toss right to Barkley. And some room to work. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, this game's over.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. Manning. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Rosas puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
But now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Trubisky to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 2nd down, Trubisky to the right side, complete to Miller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. And he's got some space here. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they move the chains. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Play action. Now Trubisky. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Throwing here, Trubisky. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A Chicago 1st down, the former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So that one will be accepted. And a penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still third and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now he'll spike it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Parkey with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Giants. And that ought to just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Manning will take a knee, and that should be the final act in this one. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.